Hi and welcome to A Week in Walford, the EastEnders review programme hosted by two people who are rejoicing the return of
Sausage Surprise!
I'm Johnathon Hughes.
And I'm Sarah Doran.
This week's headlines: Justice for Shakil,
Bernie for Tiff,
and the Slater manifesto. So of course we have to start with the biggest storyline of the week, possibly of the year for EastEnders, the stabbing of Shaquille Kazemi, the aftermath of it. Lots of drama, really, really dramatic stuff. What did you make of it, Sarah?
I mean, much props to Bonnie Langford. What a performance she put in as Carmel.
Yeah, definitely.
The heartbreak,
you really
the
felt
upset,
it, didn't you?
You could feel everything, and the whole family in general. I know we're really excited to see the Kazemis. We'll get to that in a little bit, but just the impact that the stabbing had, you know, not only on his friends, but just to see it at home, to see the reality of the horrors of it.
And I like the symbolism was good. There was a lot of that, you know, looking for the watch and wanting to fix his shirt, and those little details that you don't often get in continuing dramas because the pace is so fast. I think they've really taken the time with the writing on those details. There was the, I don't know whether it was felt a bit tacked on, the suicide attempt that Carmel did on Tuesday's episode that I didn't feel was fully explored. What did you make of that?
I agree with that. I think kind of tacked on is possibly the best turn of phrase to use for it. I mean, you could see Bonnie Langford did an incredible job portraying Carmel's upset and horror, but there was just something about the way it was done. I mean, we're not the authority on this by any means, but it felt like perhaps the issue, if you were going to go down that road, perhaps it merited a little bit more breathing room and a little bit more time to explore, because it felt like it just kind of came at the end of this episode, and suddenly once she found the watch it was like, oh dear, what have I done? Run to the bathroom, Kush calls the ambulance, you know, the paramedics come, then they say, oh no, you know, just don't leave her alone. Here's the card. Great to always see the Samaritans number being flashed up. Really responsible. Yeah. But then it kind of just disappeared after that. In
a similar way to last week's kind of pointless car crash that didn't happen when Mick was driving Keegan to the hospital. Do you remember? And in the midst of all of that drama, there was this cliffhanger of a car crash that then came to nothing. Maybe there's slightly too many elements to this plot, whereas it's so powerful. Is to let it breathe and let it be what it is. And like the scene with the Sophie Bruno's mum. Really simple, really powerful.
Completely. And I think perhaps, you know, we've seen Corrie cover this male suicide in such depth a few weeks back that maybe perhaps that's why this time around
we're a bit more heightened to it, maybe.
Exactly.
Yeah,
but
that's
I mean,
a fair point.
Still fair play. And I agree what you say. Bruno's mum, that scene was so brilliant. The meeting of the two mothers, really poignant, really important. And I just felt that really hammered home, you know, that not only one family was destroyed essentially by this senseless tragedy, but two as well. Yeah,
definitely. I think, and as we touched on there, meet the Kazemis. We've met Umar, the boy's dad. We've met Darius, the missing brother. Do you know who I want to meet next? She was mentioned this week. Ashleen. Umar's got this trophy wife. She's always been talked about since Carmel came into the show. She was dumped for a younger model, basically. Umar's a bit of a player. Do you think Ashleen could come into it, played by Ashleen Hogan-Wallace from Big Brother?
This is the dream. I would absolutely love if Ashleen was Ashleen.
The Ashleen dream, we can only dream. Or played by someone from Towie. She kind of probably has that. I can imagine.
Gemma Collins.
Oh, the GC. The GC as Ashley. Sorry, Carmel, darling, and I'll say to you that I think you got dumped for the right reasons. I can see it now.
GC Kazemi.
Fingers crossed that happened. Keegan obviously very involved in this plot and has been brilliant. But you know, one foot in the biggest hard-hitting plot of the year, and another foot in some teen drama that was a bit like a Barker Grove rejected script from about 1995. All that teens in the club thing, I mean, did that work for you?
Yeah, I mean, it felt a little bit, I mean, I remember when I used to watch EastEnders years back, and kind of Peter Beale and Lucy and, you know, Lauren and Abby were very much my teen generation of EastEnders, my era, so to speak. That ages me in certain ways.
Don't talk about my age in that case, but anyway.
It just, I don't know, it seemed fun, but maybe I can't relate to it anymore.
I think the purpose of it was to bring us to our next topic, which is Bernadette and Tiffany, the love that dare not speak its name. You worked this out.
I saw this coming.
You called this.
I did. I called this a few weeks, possibly months, whenever Tiff came back and palled up with Bernie.
They got together very quickly as mates, didn't they? Quite intense.
I just felt there was kind of a hint of this idea that Bernie perhaps was quite intensely interested in Tiffany. And I just always wondered, I kind of did say to myself, oh, are they bringing her in for a potential? Is it?
Pure sexuality exploration. I mean, she went from being obsessed with chess to being obsessed with Tiffany Butcher. What does that tell us about what Bernadette's into?
I'm really not sure, Johnny.
I'm not sure. What I would like to know is, what would the hashtag be, as the kids would say? If these two are going to get together, they're going to be shipped. I think that's what people call it.
Yeah, shipping.
Shipping. What's the hashtag? We've got a choice.
We've got 3 options. And we want you to tell us below what one you think it should be. So our nominees are Biffany. I like that one.
I like Biffany.
Turnadette.
I'm not sure about that.
Or my personal favourite, Tiffany.
Tiffany, with a capital B in between.
Get voting.
Get voting
down
now,
below.
kids. Yeah. How lovely. I think this was all kind of came about because of that spin the bottle game, wasn't it? Which I kind of thought was a really neat way of like a plot generator of like, oh, we've got some characters, we've got some scenes to fill. Oh, who should we have snog in? Spin the bottle.
You know, I'm pretty sure that this is EastEnders' big secret. They've been using this to decide who Max will get off with next.
spin the Stacey bottle.
Nothing confirmed, of course. Nothing confirmed.
Yes, we haven't actually been in any storyline meetings, but yes, that's certainly certainly possible. So the next thing I want to discuss, the Slaters.
Yes.
We love the Slaters. Talk a lot about the Slaters on this show. The big news this week is that Hayley is having a mini Alfie Moon. So he came back last week. She's now decided to keep the baby that he had given her money from he'd just been to the cash point very sleazily, got her money from an abortion. She's not having an abortion. What I'd like to discuss is, what does it mean to be a Slater? Because Hayley was going to blackmail Kat about the secret she knows about why Kat can't see the kids, and she didn't go through with it. And Kat said, yeah, I knew you couldn't go through with it. I knew you weren't a proper Slater. In every scene in that house, someone says, we're Slaters, we fill in whatever it is. We're Slaters, we don't fill in whatever it is. Is there a Slater manifesto? What do you think it takes to be a Slater?
Well, first of all, I think it takes a lot of leopard print.
We're Slaters, we wear leopard print, all right? Yeah, that's definitely it.
It takes an interesting female dynamic where you completely empower each other, but at the same time can't help like laying into each other every 5 minutes.
We're Slaters, we sort of hate each other and like each other at the same time. Yeah, she sent her that text, didn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like you, Hayley Slater, even though I've been, you know, bitching you up all week.
Yeah.
Very odd. Also, we're Slaters. We don't talk about plot holes like what's happened to Jean's marriage.
No. Where is Ollie?
Where is Ollie?
What is happening there?
Jean got very upset. Maybe there was no sausage surprise.
Does it say, say a lot that I'd actually forgotten about Ollie at this stage?
Yeah, Ollie's only been mentioned twice. He's been back like 3
He's
months.
on his Ollie days.
He's on his Ollie days! Permanently, so it seems. But yeah, the Slater manifesto. I'd like to explore that. Also, just back to the return of Sausage Surprise, I feel it's its own character. I feel like it's the honorary Slater. It should get a soap award. The return of Sausage Surprise. Pleased to see it.
The tastiest dish on Albert Square.
So delicious. Join us this time next week when we'll be playing Spin the Bottle to see who my co-host is going to be. Join us for another week in Walford.